THFC, THFC, THFC. Did you see what I see? What a load of bullshit, huh? Thomas Frank's gonna be good at Tottenham Hotspurs. Thomas Frank is a good manager. Last season, all the Thomas Frank fans said, if Thomas Frank was in this position Ange Postecoglou is, with all these injuries, he would have done much better because he's tactically better. Still looking, eh? Eyes wide open. I mean, that performance yesterday. 2 goals in 6 minutes. Thomas Frank has come to Tottenham to break all of Ange Postecoglou's records. And I don't mean by winning the trophy. How flipping shit was that yesterday? I mean, any team can go down 2-0, yeah? And come out second half and have a good half. Because the other team knows all they got to do is soak up the pressure, yeah? And then after the 95 minutes, they're going home winners. And that's what Fulham done yesterday. I mean, every game we're allowing teams to come onto us. We're never going at teams from the kickoff. Just makes no sense, man. Then you know what the biggest problem is? Yeah, some will say sack Thomas Frank. Who are you going to get in? Because any good manager is going to be waiting for Liverpool or waiting for Manchester United. And that's the problem we got. Yeah, don't want Brendan Rodgers, but he will be better than Frank. That's the problem we've got. Certain clubs need managers as well. Now, it's looking like. If Man United lose today, my man's gone by next week. So they can get a good manager in before Tottenham, before Liverpool. I mean, it's just disgusting, man. 20 games in and you still don't know your best 11. Pape Sarr. What has Pape Sarr done to get benched again? One of the best players in the week, alongside Bergvall, alongside Archie Gray, alongside Kolo. Yeah? Star gets benched again. Simmons, what's he got to do to get a solid run in this team? Yeah? 55 million on a player and you're putting him on the bench. This is why I say you have no respect, bro. No respect. You've never spent 55 million pounds on a player in any of your clubs what you've been at before. But you come to Tottenham, spend 55 million on Simmons to put him on the bench. I'm not blaming Levy for that because you could have said no. You said yes, you took him in, you said you wanted him. And you've got him on the bench. Makes no sense. Yeah? Pedro again. Superb going forward. Defending what you're supposed to be doing. Not that good at it, are you? But you want to shout at the young players. Come on, man. Something's got to give, man. And you know the worst thing about it? We ain't even got Mason no more to run the ship. Yeah? Obviously, Frank's second in charge ain't going to stay if Frank's gone. We've got problems over there. And if they don't fix it up quickly, yeah, we're going to finish 17th again. And the thing about that is, if we do finish 17th again, yeah, the handful of players that we want to keep are going to want to leave. Now is judgment day. Somebody needs to make a decision on Thomas Frank. Yeah, somebody needs to box him in his face and tell him, you need to fix this shit up, bro. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. I really can't believe it. The man, you just see the man on the touchline and he just looks like he's clueless. Do you know what I mean? Every minute you're walking around with your tactical board, you're like a bloody Swiss Army knife, bro. Good little parts, but useful for nothing, really. Just to get you out of a little emergency. And you've had your 10 games of fun, man. I don't know what's going on down here, man. Down here. And you know when I knew? I never went to the match yesterday. Walking on the high road and someone stopped me and said, you want a ticket, mate? I said, how much? He said, 30 quid. I said, you know what, I'm going to give it a miss this time. That's a £60 game. That's when I knew, you know, it's not going to be how I want it to be. Thomas Frank has let himself down. He's let down his club. He's let down them players. Because the only difference between Thomas Frank and these players, a lot of these players are European champions. Frank ain't got no championship medal. Yeah, so normally I would blame the players and players are letting it down, blah, blah, blah. No, they're champions, innit? Thomas Frank ain't. That's what the difference is. So of course he's going to get problems. Of course he's going to get problems. You come to a club like Tottenham and you offer nothing. You offer nothing. All you offer is keeping Brentford in the Premier League. That's all you offered. Give me back Ange any day of the week. You know why? Because at least you know what kind of football Ange is trying to play. At least you know towards of his time at Tottenham, yeah, you saw the little changes what he can possibly make. And I guarantee you, those players would have run through the wall for him because he turned them into winners. This is ridiculous, man. Thomas Frank, I've had enough with you already and you've only been here 5 months. And the worst thing about it is I can't see you changing it round. Because what you're showing me is dead. The last manager in the Premier League, what won 4-2-2-2, got pumped every week at Manchester United. But you feel we can do that in the Premier League. Champions League's a different ball of game, man. Completely different. I'm so disappointed in the man. It's unbelievable. Yeah, you would think we would be having these problems in the Champions League and not the Premier League. Why? Because he wasn't experienced in the Champions League. And I would have gave you that. But the Premier League, you're seasoned in there. You're supposed to be winning all the time, bro. Especially against Marco Silva. How much times have you played him? 6 times in your career? Like, we should not be losing to teams like Fulham. No way. No day. But I've had enough, man. That's my rant over.